What's up, y'all? It's Danny from the Wise Wolf podcast, and today I want to discuss how to deepen your belief and knowing that you can manifest your dreams. So, the reason I want to talk about this is because a lot of people have goals or manifestations, things they basically want like for their future, but the number one reason that people don't get this is because they don't believe it to be true. They have doubts about it. They think it could be a possibility, but like it could also not happen. But in order for you to manifest it and you to get exactly what you want, you have to believe it. And for me especially, it was really hard for a long time for me to believe I was worthy or believe that like manifestation was true. Just to get that hard knowing that you can literally get whatever you want. I just made a list of the things that helped me to get to this point because for 2 years I tried to manifest these specific things and I struggled because I could not get them, and I feel like the reason I couldn't or wasn't getting there as fast as I wanted to is because I didn't believe it, and I didn't believe in myself, and I didn't believe 100% that I was going to get whatever I wanted. So now that I have learned, basically, I feel like from reading a bunch of books and meditating and just like kind of like growing myself, I finally realized that like it is gonna happen. Like I always knew that manifestation was a thing and that you can manifest your dreams and put in the work and blah blah blah. But like I had like these dreams that were like so big, and literally everyone around me didn't believe that I could do it. So it was really hard to believe it for myself, but once I became so deep in what I wanted and grew my self-love, I knew that I was worthy and I knew that I was going to get it, and then I did. So I have 6 tips that I wrote in my journal that can help you to actually believe and know that you're going to get your manifestations, which is going to bring it closer to you faster. And I mean, who doesn't want their dreams to become real like as soon as possible? So really stick to these things and I promise you're gonna get literally anything you want. Alright, my first tip is practice segment intention. So I learned about this in this book I'm reading called The Law of Attraction. So if you know about manifestation, you probably know about the law of attraction. Basically, a lot of people, it was a trend for a while, the lucky girl song or the lucky girl like syndrome, where I think it was like a thing on TikTok where people were like, I'm such a lucky girl, good things always happen to me, I'm so lucky. And I know a lot of girls were doing it like with one another, and basically when you say and believe that you're so lucky that good things keep happening to you, good fortune, all the good things just come to you because you are lucky. So when you are knowing that you're lucky, you're gonna attract luck. So basically, it's the same thing with like just how you are as a person. If you're like, man, like I can never get a good job, I feel like I never have enough money, I feel like bad things always happen to me, then you're just going to keep repeating that. Bad things are going to happen to you, you're not going to get a good job, you're not going to get money. Those things are just going to happen because that's what you believe to be true. And when you believe that like, oh, like I'm so lucky, like money is flowing to me, like good things always happen to me, just like have a positive mindset about life, that's when like magic happens, and that's when literally everything just flows to you and everything's in your favor. But I feel like a lot of people, especially if you're spiritual, you like already know that, but this book goes so deep, like down to literally everything in your life. It is actually insane. Like I feel like I did fill an entire journal just reflecting on that book. So yeah, if you're interested, it's called The Law of Attraction. I know I showed it in the video, but for those of you who are just listening on Spotify, it's called The Law of Attraction, the basics of the teaching of Abraham by Esther and Jerry Hicks. But yeah, it's so good. Goes down to like your thoughts and how they shape your future, down to like how you treat others, how you treat yourself, what movies you watch, how you go about your day, literally down to the itty gritty, and how you basically can shift that and get anything you want. Like it's basically a manifestation book because you can attract and manifest literally anything you want. Yeah, read the book. Okay. Anyways, So that's where I got the segment intention from, that practice. So basically, this practice will deepen your relationship with the law of attraction. This is going to help you start believing that you're lucky and good things always happen to you. So basically what it is, it's like when you're getting ready to go in the car to go to work, you pause for a minute. So you close your eyes, or you can even like write it down. It says in the book that for those of you who have the most trouble, it's good to write it down to reflect, because writing on paper holds so much power. But I've just been doing it in my head because I don't know. Anyways, so basically if you are about to get in your car, or if you get in your car and you just sit there and you're just like, not about your whole day, not about what you want to get done today or what you got to do after work, but if you're going to work or going to school or whatever, you just sit in your car and you're like, I'm going to have a great drive. It's going to be safe, a safe drive. I'm going to get there safely. I'm going to get good gas mileage, and I'm going to be so happy when I arrive, and just like focus on the drive and be intentful about having a good drive to wherever you're going. So then once you get there, you kind of, you have a knowing that like you were intentful with that drive, and then it was a great drive. So you kind of like blend your thoughts with what happened, and this is what's practicing in your mind, that what you think and what you know is going to happen. So that kind of strengthens the bond of you to realize that you can intend or want to get whatever you want, and then you will get it. So another example which could kind of stretch this to like a bigger practice is if you're going to a job interview. You can say, I'm going to ace this job interview. Whatever the outcome is for the best of my future. If I get this job, I'm going to work so hard and be a great worker, employee. If I don't get this job, it's because the universe has a better plan for me. So you go into that job interview knowing that whatever the outcome is, whether you get the job or not, it's going to work in your favor. So when you go into an interview, the pressure's off and you're just your best authentic self. And that's who you need to be for literally everything and anything in life. Okay, I'm going to do one more example before I move on. So say you have a business, which I feel like a lot of you do that listen to this. Or you're just going to create something. You're going to create art. You're going to make some bagels. I don't know, anything. Before you create, just sit and think for a minute. You could even like do a meditation and then reflect during the meditation. Or not reflect, kind of just think about what's going to happen. You just think, I'm going to take my time with this. I'm going to put my deepest knowledge into it, my deepest creativity. I'm going to tap into source. It's just going to flow beautifully out of me. And I'm just going to create and just flow and be happy and just love what I'm doing. I feel like this is kind of a prayer, like praying to yourself or praying to your highest conscious, kind of putting forth what's going to happen, and then that's going to happen. And then you're going to see the link and be like, wow, whatever I think or want to happen, happens. So that just kind of helps the bond with what you're attracting, the law of attraction. So yeah, practice segment intention. Just practice little things of intending for what you want for your future, your very, very near future, not like big plans for the week or weekend or month or whatever. Just small things that are going to happen immediately after your intention. All right, tip number 2, experience magic. I love doing this. It's really hard for me though, because I'm very introverted. So you can do this if you're introverted, but it really will push you, I feel like. So basically experiencing magic is like just seeing things in the world and just knowing that like, wow, like that's insane that exists, or like doing things that could be magical for someone else, and whatever you give is going to come back to you. Life is a circle. Whatever you give is what you get. And I want to also point out that if you give to something doesn't mean you're going to get something from that same source. So say you go to Starbucks and you're paying for the person behind you. You are giving magic to that person. Like that person's like, oh my gosh, like that is so cool. The person in front of me paid for my drink. Like you're intending something good and beautiful for them, like something magical that happened to them, and then that's going to come around and come back to you. It could come back to you in like a sales for your website, or it could come back to you as like you baked the cookies so perfectly and caught them on time even though you didn't put a timer on. Like, it's just going to bring the magic back to you. And this also will cause kind of like a ripple effect, which creates even like a deeper, more expansive magic. So let's say you went through Starbucks. I always use this reference because I feel like a lot of people get coffee. Anyways, say you're in the drive-thru and there's a girl that hands you your coffee and you're just like, wow, like I love your hair, like you had the most beautiful hair. And so how the ripple effect would go is that girl, say it was her first day and she was really nervous, and you just made a big impact on her, and now she's just so overjoyed and happy because that little compliment really put a spark in her, and now she had like a great day, and she had a great first day at work, and she's so excited to come back tomorrow because she feels like there's just magic in the environment. And yeah, anyways, she goes home to her boyfriend and she's just so happy. She's like, I had such a great day, like someone complimented my hair and it just made me feel so great. I'm so excited to go back tomorrow. So when she tells her boyfriend is so relieved that she had a great day, and so he also has a good day. And his son goes to ask him to play a board game with him. And he's like, yeah, I'd love to play a board game. He's in like the best mood ever. He has fun. He plays a board game with his son. His son is so happy. He's like, yeah, my dad wants to play a board game with me. Like, he's having a great day. Like, you can see how like one little thing that you do can ripple on and affect so many people. It just like makes such a difference, just the smallest things that you do. And I feel like people don't really realize that or think about it. But I was so shy. I would never do this. And still, when I go to compliment someone, I am just like, my heart's like beating so fast. I'm just like, what am I going to compliment them on? Like, I want to say something nice. I want to brighten someone's day. So I just like think about what I'm going to say. And when I go to say it, I feel like I talk too fast. I feel like I don't give them eye contact because I'm too awkward. But I feel like the more you do it, the better it will get. I feel like I am getting a little bit better with like trying to compliment people, but it's definitely something I really need to work on still. Another way you can experience magic is seeing a rainbow in the sky, or experiencing a beautiful sunset and just like looking up at the sky and being like, wow, like that's real, that's in my presence, like that is so beautiful. Just recognizing how beautiful the world is and just knowing that there's so much out there and there is magic everywhere. Or going up to a tree and just like seeing the detail in the leaves, or seeing a flower on a plant and just seeing how beautiful it is, and you're just like, wow. Like, it just puts into perspective like how beautiful the world is and how lucky we are to be here. So I feel like when you have that mentality and you're really paying attention, especially to like nature or art, you just have such an open mind and an open heart, and you know that there is so much beautiful things in the world, and then that raises your vibration and it helps attract more beautiful things to you because that's what you are giving or feeling from the outside world. I really hope I'm not talking too fast. I feel like when I get passionate about things, I just like kind of ramble and talk really fast, but also I have a lot to talk about, so that's why I'm also trying to talk fast. Anyways, so experience magic. I also wrote in here, it could be as little as like if you're going on a walk or you're passing someone on the street, you could just say like good morning, or just like even smile at them. Like, you have no idea how much something like that can go for someone. It'll make you feel so much better. I even on my walk, I'll like say good morning to someone, and if they would not say good morning back, I would get like so hurt. But now I do it so often, they don't say it back or they look at me funny. I'm just like, I don't know, it doesn't really faze me anymore. Anyways, yeah. Listen to success stories. This changed my perspective so much. I used to be like, oh, like I'm 25 now and I still am not like successful, or like I don't have all the money I want and I feel like I'm getting so old, which is not old at all, but I would like know that like There were actors, singers, producers, artists, just so many people that were successful so young. It would just like kind of make me feel defeated, like it wasn't worth it. But there's so many people that are like got big at like 30, got big at 38, or like got big later on if you're kind of in my age group and think that it's too late for you. It's never ever too late. Even if you're 50 and listening to this, it's never too late. There's so many success stories of people older, and also those people came from nothing. Like, so almost the majority, I feel like, of successful people, I actually think I read somewhere that like 80% of successful or like well-known people in the world came from poverty, because people that didn't grow up with all of that, it makes them get pushed more to create the best of the art in the world. Some people I look to as like success stories that inspire me is Shannon Blake. I know she's getting really big now, but she is a single mom like me, so I like to relate to her. And she grew up in poverty. She was living on the street. She was living in her van with her daughter, and she didn't get big or like successful, I would say, till she was like 28. And she tried and pushed so hard to get where she is today. Like, she was determined, and most of all, she believed that she can do it. And you can hear that in her music, that like she always believed in herself, and that's how she got to where she is, even being a single mom and very poor. Another one is Will Smith. I don't know a lot about his success story, but I really like him as an actor. He came from poverty, like a lot of poverty. Russ, the rapper, artist, he came from poverty. Just, there's so many people out there that have come from poverty and didn't get successful until like later not in life. So I think it's interesting to listen to their stories, and I like to listen to like interviews of them telling their stories. It's just very inspirational. Another like way you can listen to success stories to boost your inspiration to believe in yourself is reach out to like people that you look up to. Like, say you want to own your own business, you can try and find a business owner and get tips from them, or like kind of find someone that are successful, that are willing to sit down and talk to you about how they got there and how like it's very achievable for you as well. Number 4, show appreciation. Say you feel like you have so much you want to do yet, and you feel like there's so much more to go and get to. Look at yourself from younger view's eyes. If you're imagining you're like your younger self looking up to where you are now, what have you like achieved that you're just like wow, like I did that. Like, for me, it would be like, wow, like we have a small business, not small, we have a business and people buy my art almost every day. Wow, we built an off-grid school bus, we built an off-grid van. Ooh, we have dreadlocks. Oh, like we used to work with wolves. Oh, we're a great mother. Like, just kind of list of the things that younger you would be like, wow, like that's awesome that like I've done that. That just makes you so grateful and have such a perspective of you and how you've already achieved so much, and to just be grateful that like that has been in your experience and there's so much more to come. So just be grateful for that. I like to use this kind of scenario. I've used it on a couple of my podcasts, but another way you can be grateful if you're trying to attract money is be grateful for what you have. If you have $5 in your bank account, be grateful for that $5. Just know that it's going to keep flowing, and just have a positive mindset about it. If you find a penny at the gas station, which I literally did yesterday, I picked the penny up and I was like, oh my gosh, a penny. I'm so rich. Money keeps flowing to me. Like, I am 1 cent richer. And I would just like be so excited I found a penny, and I just like put it in my pocket. It's just showing appreciation for like the littlest things. It's what the universe looks at and says like, oh, like you love that, like I'm gonna give you more of it. Oh, like you think that money is gonna flow to you? Okay, well, it's gonna flow to you then. Like, it just is the knowing and appreciating is what is gonna make those things come back to you. All right, stay with me. I got 2 more tips. Number 5, distance yourself. Distance yourself from things that are just like not good for you. Like, this is kind of obvious, but a lot of people are so stagnant, it's hard to let go of things because you're just kind of stuck in this matrix of things that you believe that you should have and you should do because everyone else is doing it. But I promise, once you start slowly like letting go of these things, you're gonna feel so much better. And I know a lot of people are like addicted to these things, so it's gonna be hard. So just try to do one at a time and maybe give yourself like a little reward if you do it. Like, say you're only trying to be on social media for 10 minutes a day, and say, all right, if I do only 10 minutes a day, then on Saturday I'm gonna take myself out to eat. Like, maybe do a little reward for yourself if you do it. It might help you to want to do it. I don't know, but a list of things to distance yourself from would be social media, negative people, bad self-talk, unhealthy food, bad habits, TV, music, bad cleaning products, drugs, like the list goes on. Like, just go about your day and question everything you do, because we're so trained to just like have this life and not question it. I especially grew up in a household where like we would use toxic cleaning products. We would eat those little Debbie snacks every single day. Candy, unlimited TV, internet, just like all of the bad stuff, I feel like. And I feel like that's what made me appreciate now just like experiencing what it's like to not have those things and how much better I am without them. So it's hard. I know it's so hard. Like, currently I'm trying to not eat as much sugar. It's been such a coping mechanism for me to like produce serotonin. And when I was little, I just had like a really bad childhood. And I feel like I look to sugar a lot to like help produce like happy hormones in my mind. So yeah, I'm really having a hard time with that. But just try to focus on one thing at a time. Say like you want to focus on not listening to bad music. I used to listen to Suicide Boys a lot. They have some good bumps, but there is music like Suicide Boys that doesn't talk about all the depressing shit, because when you're listening to things like that, like, I know all their music isn't like that, but if you're listening to music that's like fuck bitches, do drugs, just saying like all these like bad things, like really listen to the music you're listening to. And when you're like, whoa, like that kind of talks about some like bad stuff, like when you're like listening to that, you're subconsciously attracting that to you. If you're talking about a song about someone being cheated on and fuck everyone, blah blah blah, like you are attracting that into your existence. Like, look for some better music, because that shit really matters. Or if you're having a hard time finding good music to replace it, you can listen to like handpan music. You can listen to frequencies or just like instrumental stuff. It just like is so much better than listening to bad music or music that's speaking things into existence that you do not want in your life. Yeah, that's just like one thing on like those lists of things you should distance yourself from. Basically just question everything. What am I using to clean my floors? Is it bleach? Because bleach is very toxic. Like, question everything. What kind of container are you putting your food in? Like, is it BPA free? Is the plastic slowly deteriorating onto your food? Like, something to think about. Like, just question everything. I feel like I should do a whole podcast about things that are toxic or just like horrible for your mind and your body, because there's so much, especially if you're in America. But I'm gonna go to step number 6 now, because I could go on forever about that. Number 6 is meditate. Oh my gosh. I got this tattoo like, I don't even know, like 7 years ago. It's the symbol. And I like always knew about meditation, but I never meditated. I didn't think that like it really mattered. I kind of associated meditating with like being a good person, being peaceful, being happy. But I feel like I was always those things, so I never really had to work towards it. I mean, I didn't always have like the best self-love, but like I knew I was peaceful, so I'm like, I don't need to meditate. Like, that's how you become peaceful and practice being peaceful. So I thought I did not need it. But when you meditate, There's so many benefits. Like if you have anxiety, meditation is like the number one thing I recommend to help you. 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night. That's like I feel like the minimum to really see the benefits of meditation, but if you can only do like 10 minutes or whatever, I mean, I think it would still help you. Meditation calms the monkey mind. A monkey mind is like when you're constantly thinking, like having like a anxiety brain where you're like, what do I gotta do tomorrow? Am I gonna have enough money to pay the bills? Am I gonna get this done on time? When do I need to pick up my son? You're just like constantly thinking about everything. And meditating daily is gonna help that so much. It's gonna help you to be present, be aware in your current situation, just like your current present moment, and be more creative and happy and tapping into your highest self. I could go on about that as well. Yeah, it just helps you so much, helps with your intuition, allows you to tap into your higher self, inspires creativity, just like reading this list I made. Helps you find your dharma, which is your life purpose. Like, who doesn't want to find out their life purpose? I mean, come on. Meditation guides you to becoming your best self and tapping into your highest frequency, which can bring you to manifest anything. Like, doesn't that sound great? That sounds awesome. Like, meditation is so beautiful, and it can literally help you in every aspect of your life, especially realizing that you can and have whatever you want in your life. That should be first, I feel like. I put that 6 on the list, even though they're not really in a specific order, but I feel like if I had to pick one, meditation for 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night would be my number one tip for deepening your belief and knowledge that you can manifest literally anything, because I know a lot of people just kind of doubt it a little bit, and it's hard to believe that. But yeah, I really hope these tips helped you if you're struggling, like believing in yourself, believing that you can literally have whatever you want, because I did for so long, and these are what helped me. Yeah. If you liked this podcast, I would really appreciate it if you gave me a review, because it really helps me to want to create more, and it also helps to push my podcast to other people. And when you're pushing my knowledge to other people to also help them, it's like the ripple effect, and when you're rippling on helping me to help people, then that's going to bring the magic back to you. So yeah, that is all. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Peace.